Good morning, children.
Good morning,
Good morning, ma'am.
We were discussing about the different types of animal tissues. And yesterday, we were discussing the classification or categorization of connective tissues, which are the different types of connective tissues that we discussed. The three broad categories of connective tissues we had discussed. Anna, just list out those three connective tissues, three types.
Loose connective tissue, dense connective tissue, and
Okay, good.
special.
And connective tissue we had covered. So Meenakshi, can you tell me about loose connective tissue?
And they are loosely arranged in a semi-fluid ground state.
Then what else we'll
Two types
about
of loose connective tissue are areolar tissue and adipose tissue.
adipose tissue?
Uh,
And then we started with dense connective tissue. Navin, how can you classify dense connective tissue?
Ma'am, can you hear me? Dense connective tissue, regular and irregular connective tissue.
How are they different? Regular and irregular. Gayatri, how is regular connective tissue different from irregular connective tissue?
Regular connective tissue has a pattern of how the elastin and collagen are there, and
How the
irregular
fibers.
fibers.
Whereas in irregular one,
There is no definite pattern.
okay. So we'll continue. Okay. So dense connective tissue. Dense connective tissue, as the name suggests, dense regular connective tissue, as the name suggests, they have a regular pattern of fibers. And collagen fibers, these are present in rows. They are arranged in rows between many parallel bundles of fibers. In between the parallel bundles of other fibers, you can see collagen fibers arranged in rows. You can see a definite pattern of arrangement, and hence we call them as dense regular connective tissues. Example, tendons and ligaments. In class 9, you've learned about tendons and ligaments. Both of them are fibrous connective tissues, and tendons will attach muscle to bones and ligaments attach two bones together. And here you can find the figure. So here in the picture, you can see this is muscle and this is bone. So muscle and bone, they are connected together by a fibrous tissue known as tendon. Whereas in the next figure, you can see this is one bone, and here you can find another bone, and connecting these two, you can see fibrous tissue, and you call it as ligament. Once again, I will repeat the points. Dense regular connective tissue. Here you can find a regular pattern of fibers. And here collagen fibers are arranged in rows between parallel bundles of fibers. Two examples for dense regular connective tissues are tendons and ligaments. Tendons attach skeletal muscles to bones, whereas ligaments connect one bone to another, or it will connect two bones together. Now with that, we have completed the dense connective tissues. Loose connective tissue we already completed. After that, we moved on to dense connective tissues. Under that, we discussed about regular and irregular dense connective tissue. Next is specialized connective tissues. So three specialized connective tissues are there. We'll start with the first one, cartilage. And cartilage, you know, it is present in your ears, nose, trachea, your voice box or larynx, and even the bone surface at the joints. The surface of the bones near the joints are also made up of cartilage. And cartilage is flexible when compared to bone. You know, your body is made up of bones and cartilages, and bone is strong and not flexible, whereas cartilage is flexible. The outer part of your ear, it is very flexible. It's because cartilage is present. The intercellular material, that is a matrix, is solid and pliable, flexible, and it can resist compression. And the cells which make up cartilage, you call it as chondrocytes. And chondrocytes, they are enclosed in small cavities within the matrix secreted by them. So there are some, you can see in the picture, some cavities. And these cells are present in those cavities inside the matrix. And you call cartilaginous cells as chondrocytes. So the cells present in cartilage are known as chondrocytes. Most of the cartilage in vertebrate embryo. So when we are in the embryo state, major part of your body will be made up of cartilage, but later they will get replaced by bones. So cartilage will be replaced by most of the cartilages in the embryo will get replaced by bones in adults. So I'll repeat the points once again. Cartilage is having an intercellular material which is solid and pliable, flexible. The matrix is solid, flexible, resist compression. Actually, it is made up of main ingredients are proteins and sugars. Then the cartilage cells, the cells which make up cartilage, you call it as chondrocytes. And these cells are present in some small cavities which are scattered in the matrix. And majority of the cartilage present in the embryos of the vertebrate will get replaced by bones in the adult stage. So we have completed cartilage. Very briefly only you need to learn about these connective tissues. Now we are moving on to bones. Bones are hard and non-pliable. So they are not flexible. They are very hard and you can move the bones only at the joints. And the main substance, the matrix is actually made up of calcium salts, calcium as well as phosphorus compounds, both are there. So mainly it is rich in calcium and collagen fibers, which give bone its strength. So they have got a very hard and non-pliable matrix. This matrix contains calcium, phosphorus, and even collagen fibers, which impart them or which make them very strong. The bone cells are known as osteocytes. So if you're asked to distinguish between chondrocytes and osteocytes are the cells which make up a cartilage, whereas osteocytes are the cells which make up a bone. They are present in some special cavities. So they're also in cartilage also we said these are placed present in some special cavities. And here also there are some cavities where the bone cells are present. And in the case of bone cell, you call these spaces as lacunae. Now next is the functions of bones. It provides structural framework, supports and protects the soft tissues and organs. You know that it is the skeletal parts of the skeleton that protects the different internal organs. The skull protects your brain, your rib cage protects your internal organs like lungs, heart, liver. So different parts of the skeleton or different bones will support and protect the soft tissues and internal organs. The limb bones, the bones present in your legs and legs mainly, they are limbs means both forelimbs and hind limbs, but especially the leg bones, they bear your weight. So your weight is borne by, or the weight bearing function is carried out by the limb bones, to be specific, the leg bones. And they bring about locomotion. Not only locomotion means moving from one place to another and the movement of different parts of your body. If you're staying at one place also, your body exhibits different types of movement. So that is brought about by bones. Bones along with muscles bring about movement. And bone marrow, there is a substance which fills the space inside the bones. So that is known as bone marrow, and blood cells are produced in this bone marrow. So these are some of the functions of bones. So I'll quickly revise what we learned about the specialized connective tissues. We started with cartilage. Cartilage is having a solid and pliable matrix, and it resists compression. And cartilaginous cells are known as chondrocytes, and these are placed in some specialized cavities. And most of the cartilage present in embryos will gradually get transformed into bones in the adult stage. When about bones, they are very hard and not flexible. It's because of such a matrix present, and its matrix is mainly made up of calcium, phosphorus, and collagen fibers, which impart them strength. Bone cells are placed in certain cavities, as you can see in the figure. You call it as lacunae. Then about the functions of bones, it gives a structural framework. If bones are not there to give this framework, will be just a mass of flesh. It is only because of the bones we are having that structure. And it supports and protects all the internal organs. And the limb bones serve, or they carry out weight-bearing functions, play a very important role in locomotion and movement of different parts of your body. The blood cells are being produced in the bone marrow. It's a substance which fills the cavities inside the bones. Now, the third specialized connective tissue is blood, the only fluid connective tissue which serves very crucial functions. It's a fluid connective tissue containing red blood cells, white blood cells, blood platelets, and it is having a matrix which you call it as plasma, and these cells are scattered in this matrix. And blood helps in circulating. There are different substances that have to be transported from one part of the body to the other: digested nutrients, respiratory gases, waste materials, hormones. So all these are circulated, are transported with the help of blood. Is it clear? Is it clear, children? The functions of different types of specialized connective tissues. So we learned about 3 types of specialized connective tissues: blood, bone, and cartilage. I hope you're remembering all the points we discussed now. Yes, any doubt? Children, do you have any doubt? Any slide you need to see again?
Could you explain about blood once more?
Okay. So blood is a fluid, the only fluid connective tissue in your body, and the blood is having a fluid matrix. You call it as plasma. Scattered in the plasma, there are different types of cells: red blood cells, white blood cells, blood platelets. I didn't go into the details of the function because you know that. You're remembering, no, the functions of RBC, WBC, and blood platelets. Nandana, can you tell me what is the function of red blood cells? Nandana, unmute. Nandana, unmute. I'm waiting. Nandana,
Yes, ma'am. Oh, no, it's unmuted.
so much time for unmuting. What is the function of red blood cells? What do they contain? Why they are red in color?
Hemoglobin.
Hemoglobin. What is the function of hemoglobin?
It provides the color,
Other than
red
that,
color.
any other function? Any other function? We learned last year. It transports
Ma'am.
something.
Transport
Yes.
oxygen.
Point. Very good, Michael. So it will help in transporting oxygen. So the main function of red blood cells is to transport oxygen. And what about white blood cells? Gayatri, What is the role of white blood cells? No function? Don't take
I
too much
think
time to unmute.
it helps
Ah.
to fight bad bacteria.
Correct. Yes, it will help us to fight against infections. And who can tell me the role of platelets?
It helps us clot the blood.
Platelets. Very good. They help in clotting. So why I didn't go into the details? Because this we had already learned. And then it helps in the function of blood. You have learned different functions of blood, and it helps in circulating different substances. When you say different substances, it includes your respiratory gases, carbon dioxide, oxygen, then helps in the transport of digested nutrients. The digested nutrients need to be transported to each cell. Then the waste materials need to be removed. Hormones to be transported. We already learned that endocrine glands are not having any ducts. They release it directly into the blood, and blood is transporting it. So it will help in the transportation of hormones. So hormones, respiratory gases, digested nutrients, waste materials, etc. Is it clear? So we learned about three types of connective tissues. So can we quickly summarize? Which is the first specialized connective tissue that we learned, Evelyn? Children, please don't
Cartilage.
take so much time for cartilage. Any other point about cartilage? Evelyn, give me a few points about cartilage.
Cartilage in embryo, cartilage will it will be replaced by
The cartilage present in embryos will get replaced by bones in adults. Another point, Naurin?
The matrix is solid and flexible and it resists compression.
Very good, very good. Then the next connective tissue or next specialized connective tissue, what we learned was, Steffi?
Bone.
Bone. Bone that we covered.
It is it is made of hard ground collagen.
It is made of? It is having what type of matrix?
It is non-flexible or
It is
non-pliable.
flexible or non-pliable and hard matrix. Okay, what is its matrix made of? Meenakshi, what is its matrix made of in bones?
Calcium, salts, and phosphorus.
Louder?
Phosphorus, calcium, salts, and phosphorus. Calcium, salts,
Calcium.
and phosphorus.
One more thing, one more fibers. What fibers? Okay, who can say the fibers present? What type of fibers are present? Gayatri, what fibers are present in bone?
Collagen fibers.
What was that, Meenakshi? Meenakshi, what fibers?
Fibers.
Collagen fibers. Along with calcium and phosphorus, collagen fibers are also present, which give them so much of strength. Okay. Now the third specialized connective tissue, what we discussed was Tanya. Blood. What do you know about blood?
This is a fluid connecting tissue which has red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets.
Okay, good. What is the function of blood, Nevin? What is its function? What function is performed by blood?
It helps in transporting oxygen and
Only oxygen?
of nutrients
Only
to other
oxygen.
okay,
organs. Good. Hormone. Good. So let us continue. Now the next tissue. So we have already covered epithelial tissue and connective tissue. Now we are moving on to the third type of connective tissue, that is muscular tissue or muscle tissue. Each muscle is made up of muscle fibers. So when you say tissue itself, you know that it is made up of a group of cells with a common function form Forms what? Forms a tissue. So here in muscle, each muscle tissue, it is made up of muscle fibers. And muscle fibers are further subdivided into small structures known as fibrous structures known as myofibrils. So each muscle consists of several muscle fibers. Each muscle fiber is further made up of myofibrils. And one unique property of our muscles is that they can contract and relax. So when they contract, the muscles will become short, and when they relax, it will increase its length. So by contracting and relaxing, they are capable of bringing about movement. As we already discussed when we were dealing with bones and muscles together bring about movement. Muscles are attached to bones and together they bring about movement. So the same point is given. They take part in locomotion and movement. Locomotion means moving from one place to another. And at the same time, the different parts of your body exhibit various movements. All those are brought about by muscular tissue assisted by bones. So once again, I'll repeat. So as I told you, muscle fibers. Each muscle is made up of muscle fibers, and each muscle fiber is further made up of myofibrils, fine fibers known as myofibrils. So once again, each muscle is made up of several muscle fibers, and each muscle fiber is made up of several myofibrils. And muscle fibers are capable of contracting and relaxing. They shorten and increase, they lengthen and shorten, and this is how they bring about locomotion and movement of different parts of your body. It is with help of muscles and bones that we are capable of moving from one place to another, and our body, different body parts are able to exhibit movements because of the presence of these muscles. Now, next we will see the categorization of muscular tissues. Muscular tissues are broadly classified into three: skeletal muscle, smooth muscle, and cardiac muscle. I'll repeat again: skeletal muscle, smooth muscle, and cardiac muscle. Skeletal muscle, as the name suggests, they are attached to bones. Okay, that is why you call it as skeletal muscle, whereas smooth muscle are found in your internal organs. And cardiac muscle, as the term or as the name suggests, they are found only in our heart. And more about these three different types of tissues you will be learning in our next class. So once again, skeletal muscle, smooth muscle, and cardiac muscle are the three types of muscular tissue. Skeletal, found attached to your skeleton or bones, smooth muscle found in your internal organs, and cardiac muscle found in your heart. Okay, any doubts? No doubts. What are the points we discussed about muscular tissue? Donna?
Ma'am, each muscle is made
Unmute.
up of muscular fibers, and they consist of numerous fine
It's further.
myofibrils.
What is this? Myofibril. Will you repeat it again?
Myofibrils.
Repeat. Answer, you repeat.
The muscular fibers consist of fine.
Each muscle is made up of several muscle fibers, and each muscle fiber is made up of several myofibrils. Okay, say.
Each muscle is made up of muscular fibers, and each muscular fiber is made up of fine myofibrils.
Fine fibrils. Good. Then what else we learned about muscles? Malavika?
Muscle fibers can contract and relax. They help in
By
locomotion and
contracting it,
movement.
They help in locomotion and movement.
Movement of different parts of our body. Then we learned about the categorization of muscular tissue. 3 types are there. Who will list it out, Nandana? The 3 types of muscle fibers.
Skeletal, smooth, and cardiac.
Skeletal and cardiac. So more about these muscles we will learn in our next class. Okay, children, thank you.